The point of departure was that we cannot take these categories for granted. We have to question these categories. Does it still work? And the findings is that most of the time it does not work anymore. They do not identify to these ethnic categories. That is interesting because the question I asked was an open question. I didn't ask a question with several choice, like what ethnic group do you belong to? Hakka, Holo, Mainlander, Aboriginal. No, I left the question open to enable the person who answers to answer freely. And about half of the population I interviewed did not choose any of these 4 categories. They chose other categories: double identity, no identity at all for 1/3, or other categories. So about half of the population say that ethnicity is not important. No, these ethnic categories does not function in terms of identification. But at the same time, a majority considers that having an ethnic identity is important. So they do not consider that they belong to an ethnic group, but still, as an individual, they think that ethnicity is important, but for themselves, not in terms of groups that are clearly cut by boundaries and that are opposed, but in more, they are processing cultural material which comes from ethnicity. But they do not see ethnicity and ethnic groups in terms of conflicts. I think that usually those that answer that they have no ethnic identity, they do not want to identify with an ethnic category, usually want to escape what they see on the political arena. At the same time, they oppose ethnic political mobilization. They oppose the pen blue or the pen green, using ethnic problems, ethnicity as a political tool. They oppose using language as a political tool. Language is, to them, language is only a tool for communication. It can be something you are proud of if you are able to speak Taiwanese, for example. You can be proud of it, but you won't use it as a device to look down to the mainlanders, for example, or to reject another part of the Taiwanese population. And usually they think about what can unify Taiwan, not what can divide Taiwan, which is pretty different. And I think it's also very it is a good point for Taiwanese future, because I think we are at the point that where new generations really think about what could unify Taiwan, not what could divide. They won't search for they won't search in Taiwan history for the moments or the cultural heritage that divide. They will search for the resource that can unify Taiwan. Instead of having one core identity like national identity, which will crush any other identities, which was what was asked to the Taiwanese by the Kuomintang of the two Chiangs, of Chiang Kai-shek and Chiang Ching-kuo. They wanted that the national identity, Chinese national identity, be the core of a person identity, and everything else was not important, had to be pushed away or eradicated or erased. Right now, national identity is still something important, and in that way I am quite I disagree with people saying that national identity is dead and that nation states are dead. No, they are not dead. They are just transforming in terms of their importance for citizens, their importance for people. This is true for France. This is true from, I think, the whole Europe. This is true also true for Taiwan. So I think we have to consider identity not as something which is homogeneous, formed by one piece like national identity, but as something which is a form of different materials, different elements. And sometimes I use the image of a kaleidoscope. I think it's that in English too, kaleidoscope, yeah. So a kaleidoscope. So you have different facets, you have different elements which are in your kaleidoscope and which are moving and which can be put in front or in the background, depending also on the interactions on who you have in front of you.